up, and welcome back to Interpreting the Stars, where today I will be reviewing the 2019 Space Odyssey film, Ad Astra. I didn't know much about this before I saw it, but I did know that it got a lot of mixed reviews and it ultimately differed on who you were as a person if at the end of the day you enjoyed it. I personally know plenty of people that fall all over the spectrum with this film, so it's definitely nothing universally seen as great. I had no idea where I'd personally fall upon the spectrum, but thankfully it was rather high. I'm aware that this is not the director's final film, and he has some more on his roster yet, but if it were the final film, it'd be one heck of a coup de grace. This review is brought to you by the word of the day, coup de grace, a decisive and final finishing blow, act, or event. Ad Astra focuses on Roy McBride, played by Brad Pitt, an astronaut that is very good at what he does but has long since lost his passion for it. When he learns that his astronaut father, long thought to be dead, may still be alive on Neptune, Roy must travel planet to planet in this space adventure to find him and stop him from doing something potentially catastrophic. So this movie is definitely a slow burner. It takes its sweet time getting into the heart of the story, and that's probably the main thing that a portion of people won't love, because if you miss the point and the tone of the film, it'll undoubtedly feel like a slow, boring film without much of a point. If you are engaged from the get-go, though, you should notice that it needed that slow-burning atmosphere to really elicit that ambiance of space and the feeling of how dreamy it can be for people. Ad Astra is a gorgeous film by all means, and I loved how deeply it tries to attach you to this core character played by Brad Pitt, who often looks monotone on the surface, but you can tell that there are layers upon layers of different things that he is going through under the surface throughout the film. I loved how he could be in a physical catastrophe and never have a heartbeat above 80 beats per minute. But if he's in solitude thinking about his father, it spikes. I love that intrinsic dynamic, and I believe it speaks wonders about who his character is. I also loved how incredibly simple the story is. Find Dad. It utilizes this simple story of finding the father, and it builds up from that point forward, making it not just a simple story, but a strong narrative that holds a ton of significance for each character, which easily can provide independent perspective on the problem at hand. It's a space adventure with all the necessary components of a solid adventure in general. It answers the question on why can't Brad Pitt just jump on a starship and head straight for Neptune. It provides believable and necessary obstacles for him to traverse through before getting there, and every stop is met with a new discovery, helping the mystery element of this film feel complete. Honestly, I don't have a lot to complain about when it comes down to this movie. I love the slow burning pace. I love Brad Pitt's performance, which I consider to be some of the best I've seen from him, if not the best I've seen from him. I love the visuals, the cinematography. I love the editing and sound mixing. I love the narrative and how deep of a story this was for his character, and how his character was able to use his estranged relationship with his father to his advantage. I loved it all. If there was one thing that I wasn't a huge fan of, it would undoubtedly be the noir-like voiceover work done by Brad Pitt. There's a lot of it, and I'm not always sure those were needed, but again, it would be a completely different movie without the dialogue. That dialogue helps solidify the tone of the movie even deeper than it was already found. So even my main complaint is barely a complaint. Another thing that was neither here nor there for me was the action and thriller aspects of the film. While I did have an enjoyable time watching these moments unfold, they sometimes felt super random and were often the only moments in the entire thing where Brad Pitt doesn't grow or learn something else about his journey. As exciting as they sometimes were, they were the main things that I felt possibly ruined the pacing for some people, since they really didn't seem to be connected to anything else. They were just fun. Maybe that's just me though. What did I score Ad Astra? 92%. 92 out of 100 possible stars, granting it the letter grade of A-. If you're wondering where this ranks in my current 2019 film scores, it's actually right now, it's in 4th place. It's actually tied with another sci-fi film that blew me away in equal and unequal ways, Netflix's I Am Mother. I don't know. It's a good year for sci-fi movies, I think. Guys, let me know what you thought about Ad Astra. Where on the spectrum do you lie? Do you love it? Do you hate it? Are you somewhere in between? As for YouTube, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button if you like this review and would like to see some more like it. Hit the thumbs up button because that always helps out my channel. And don't forget about the little bell icon, because that helps notify you when I come out with my next review. And until then, peace out.